Hello, it's me again. Today's Wednesday. Are you guys tired of me yet? Yeah, I just thought I'd come on and do some organizing and visit with y'all for a little bit. So let me see if I can bring my laptop up. Giving you a little bit of a different view today because I am working over here. On the other side over here is the horse. But today I'm organizing arts, paints, and brushes, and canvas, and stuff like that. Um, so maybe I will get a bug to paint. All right. So give me just a second. So somebody pop in. And yeah, it's a mess over there. Hi, Katie. How are you today? Good to see you. So this is where I'm going to set up my paints and maybe try to get some sort of art thing going. Does that sound like fun? And it's a mess over here. So I'm using this sewing cabinet that I've taken a lot of the doors off of. And then I have another table over here in the corner. So I'll show you more as we go. But so I got a little bit organized. And it's kind of hard to figure out how to put this. Because on one hand, it would be kind of nice to have more fabric stuff over there, right? Yeah, more fabric. Because who doesn't need more fabric? But if I don't set up someplace to paint, then, well, I guess I could do it in the spare bedroom. Then I would have to move the bed. That was not going to work. Hi, Mona. How are you doing? You feel better? Well, I know it doesn't look like a mess, maybe to you, but it is kind of a mess. Or it's, not really organized well. So, uh, well, hi, Carol. You're new to my channel? Carolyn. Sorry about that. New to the channel. Well, welcome. Um, I'm just kind of doing something different today. So I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to do some organization of my um, paints and stuff like that for art and kind of setting up an area for that. Normally I do more quilting, sewing, and art quilts. So anyhow, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. And if everybody could say hello to her, that would be awesome. You stopped at Hobby Lobby and they had no Kona? Really? Huh. Now, I heard, sorry, I guess I could look at you. I heard that Marshall's Dry Good, or at least some of them, are got some really good fabric selections. Do you have a Marshall Dry Good in your area? I've never been to Marshall Dry Goods, and I don't even know where the closest one is, actually. I suppose I could go online and look, but anyway. And I've never been to Hobby Lobby either. I've never been to a Hobby Lobby. I have been to a Joann's. You see how sheltered of a life I live? Looks like my internet dropped for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, ever since I moved from Boise, Idaho, which was in 95, uh, Boise was the biggest town I lived in, although I did live by Seattle, which was much bigger, but I didn't live in Seattle. I was probably, 35, 40 miles north of Seattle. Uh, so, yeah, I had to live over there for like 4 years. That was not fun. Okay, so I do, or I used to do, um, paintings that used acrylic paint and oil paint. So basically, you base your painting in the background, or not just the background, but you base the painting in with acrylics and let that dry, and then come back over it with oils. I don't know if any of you have ever tried that, but it works really well, especially if you're trying to cover up a white canvas. Uh, you end up using a lot less oil paint that way. And yeah, anyway, it's a good technique. Let's see who else we got here. Solids were an off brand. Hi, Louise. I have to say that you have a beautiful name. uh, all right, so I'm trying to figure out. I'm thinking about setting an easel up right over here, but I need to move that heater, and I need to fix the curtains over there too. I'll just move this out of the way for a minute. You guys remember this? We did these a couple of years ago. They're calendar quilts by Kim Schaefer. Yeah, something like that, I think. I have to keep those curtains up there because the sun sets on that side of the house, and boy, when it's over there, it gets so hot. So I have like those white curtains right there are like blackout curtains, and then I have those really dark blue curtains there, and they're really heavy. They're supposed to be blackout too, but they were getting pretty old. But with the two of them, it helps. So Okay, I need to find the bad thing about organizing is you lose stuff. I was trying to match a panel with giraffes in an odd green and gray. Oh, that sucks when you can't find what you're looking for. Hi, Lisa. How are you today? Okay, I'm looking for a push pin. Well, that didn't work. Okay, I need my step ladder. I, yeah, I bent that right over. Let's see. What else can I do? Well, I guess I'll just leave that for now until I can go downstairs and get my step ladder. And it's almost time that I can put that heater away. But when I first come up here, if I come up in the morning, it's kind of chilly. So I have to turn that heater on for a little bit. I'd like to put a chair over there, you know, a comfy chair, but I don't have any other place to put that heater, so all right. So I have this big easel but I think it's been outside too long and it's kind of dried out. Yeah, it dried out and then it split on the top. So let's see, I'm going to have to fix it. Screwdriver. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to need my carpenter's glue is dried up. I wonder if I put a little bit in a jar. I mean, it's kind of looks like cottage cheese. Okay. Well, it might work. Still tacky. Okay. I'll look at the chat here. Well, hi, Sandra. Hello, Jean. Yeah, I have a clamp. I got to look for that too. Let's see. I wonder if, what do you think? Do you think this clamp is too tight? Might be too tight. It's pretty tight. Yeah, I think that is too thick for this clamp. So, I'll figure out something else. All right. I'm going to use a paintbrush for the glue. Some water. This is just water. Yeah. I could just tie something around it. Probably that'll work. How do you keep your glue from drying out? Should I like put it in a Ziploc bag? Oh, thank you, Mona. Hey, Jim. Hello again. Hello again, Jim. Okay. Any comments before I wrap this up? Hi, Liz. Hey, Rita. That is on an easel that I had it setting outside on the deck for too long, that dried out and expanded and dried and expanded, and then it cracked. So I should have had it in here in the house. So I probably should clean it, wipe it down with some linseed oil or something like that. So I probably will do that too. Okay. Ball game. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I love baseball games. Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm just going to wrap it with some ribbon. Okay, that looks pretty good. So, let's see. Do you guys have wasps and bees in your area? You're not going to believe this, but down in here in this groove, there's a couple of dead bees in there. I don't know if they were trying to hibernate in there or something. They look like they've been in there for a while. They were mummified. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And I don't really want to mess with it. Just let it dry for till tomorrow probably. See, how long does it take that? How long does it take this glue to dry? Yeah, I'm not sure how old that easel is because it was Brandon's mom. And God, it could be probably 30 years old, maybe more. Keep from freezing. Store at room temperature. Sets fast. Bonds strong. Stronger than wood itself. Yeah, okay, what I thought. Allowed to dry overnight. Okay. I can barely read that. That is so tiny. Well, that part's done. Oh, hey Mel. Yeah, they do that here too. I was just looking out there on the deck and way up there. In fact, it's higher than I can reach. I don't even think I have a pole that long. There's old nests up there, and I would love to knock those down, but okay. Now I just want to keep. Okay. This is what I like to do so I don't lose the screws. I'm just going to temporarily put those back in there a little bit where they came from because I have a very bad habit of losing the screws to stuff. And if you can, just put the screws back where you found them. Okay. So I'll just set this over here for now. I have a little drawer over here that holds little tools, different kinds of screwdrivers and pliers and stuff like that, and a hammer. Okay, I'll be right back because I got to go rinse this glue off real quick. Okay, so what I will do is clean that brush really good, not with just water, but I'll use a little bit of turpentine too, and then I'll condition that brush. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got going on over here. You talking to Lori, Rita? I don't see Lori in here. Hey, Suzanne. Excuse me. Hi, Geraldine. Hi, Melanie. Did I miss anybody else? Said hello to Jim and Sandra. And thank you, Mona. Hi, Jean. Just in case. Yeah, thanks, Mona, for doing all those. I appreciate it. Hi, Kim. Hi, Jamie. Oh, that's okay. I just figured you thought you were over on Lori's channel. Which could be too, and that's all right. If you like those shelves that I'm using, they are wire, plastic coated shelves that you normally get from the kitchen section or bathroom or the pantry. And yeah, they're just for like cleaning supplies or whatever you want to use them for. And remember, I used to put the fat quarters in there. So they work for that too. I just, since they're wire shells, everything falls through them. So I just cut this stiff board. And this is actually really hard paper for watercolor, or it's like a canvas board, I guess. Not quite as hard as a canvas board, but really stiff paper. And I use that for the shelf liners. These are some of the ribbons I won for my paintings. So I won a special reward, a ribbon, at the Gem County Fair in Emmett, Idaho. These are all from Emmett, Idaho. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 blue ribbons. And then they write things on the back of the card. This was a long time ago. I actually ended up selling some of these that I got ribbons on. And see, this one was for a bear that I did. This was for a buck. Barn scene. A wolf. My brother has that one. And yeah, he likes to take my paintings. And my mom, she would always say, oh, I like that one. So my mom would ended up with a bunch too. But that's okay, you know. And then these other things hanging up here, these are ribbons too. These are the kind of ribbons you get at the quilt shows, our local quilt show. Can you tell that that's a sewing machine? I think this was the blue ribbon. All right. Hi, Kathy. Thank you. Yeah, one of the girls in our sewing group makes those ribbons. So, all right. Now, I think I will move you over here and show you what I'm talking about so you can see. And I won't have to yell so loud. Sorry if I made you sick. Okay. So over here I have oil paint oils. Yeah, these are all oils. And then down below right here is all those tools. I should put this hammer back here. So as you can see, I'm still trying to get things organized. And then down here, oh, I have some watercolors. I haven't done too much with watercolors, but I would like to. So I did do that. Remember I did the little bird with watercolors. Okay, those are all acrylic. They're probably all dried up too, because I mean, It has been years since I painted. So. And then these are all acrylic. These are like this type of acrylic. And I think they're all dried up too. Oh God, that really sucks because these are not cheap. But what I can do is cut them and then use water. And I should still be able to use them. So what I might do is, oh, maybe cut the tops off and then just stick my brush down in there. I'm going to have to think about it. I might have Brandon make me something where I can stand these up. I need something where I can stand them up. But there's like, okay, now this one's good. This one's a good one. I do have a bunch of these. I think these were all mine, but these were Brandon's mom's. So yeah, they're pretty old. That one's good. The ones in tubes like this are good. The ones in the plastic tubes, yeah, they feel pretty dry. Yeah. I wonder how my oils are. I have to hide this brush from Brandon. I don't actually use it for my art, but when I need a good paintbrush, I can never find one. And Brandon always ruins all the brushes. So, yeah, I hide one from him. Is that bad, you guys? Don't tell him, okay? Don't tell him. Okay. Yeah, probably too many hobbies, Kathy. All right. And then let's see what's in this bottom drawer. The glue gun. Okay. Now this I think I want to move because I'm going to put the watercolors down here, I think. Okay. Now, if you guys do a lot of glue gun stuff, especially any type of industrial type glue gun stuff, this thing works really good. It's a Sears glue gun. I don't know where it's at. It's not in that box. I have it somewhere else. But you can get like industrial glue sticks. Okay. hi, Danielle. Yeah, I know it's going to break my heart too when I have to throw stuff away. But luckily this is all water soluble stuff, so it should be okay. I just might have to cut the tubes open. These feel okay. This is all watercolor. Okay. I think those are all right, so. And then I have the watercolor, I think I said, is was Brandon's mom's stuff. She liked to do watercolor. She liked to oil paint too, but the last few years that she was on this earth, she started getting into watercolor. In fact, her and I went to a couple of classes on watercolor. So nobody in her family did art like this, so they just told me to take all of her art stuff, you know. So I did. And this thing's pretty beat up. I don't know. Might not be worth keeping. Stay wet palette. I don't think it's going to stay wet. I mean, it's really old and cracking. Should I just throw that away? Probably. Yeah, because it's all cracked up down here, so it's going to leak. Maybe I'll keep the spongy stuff, huh? Oh, that's got a hole in it. See what happens to stuff when you don't use things for a while. All right, that's garbage. Now I got more here. Let's see what these are. Oh, this is for a paint tray. That one's clean. So this is probably a paint tray too. And that one's dirty. Kind of clean. One spot dirty. Cad yellow. She was very organized. All right. And then I think these papers are for something. I'm not really sure what. I'll just, then I have another little tray. And let's see. These are all erasers. Having to do with watercolor. So here's a pickup eraser, whatever. So I'll leave that with the watercolor stuff. And then, oh, here's or keep that. Another sponge. Got a bunch of sponges. And then she had paper. Some more paper that they used some way for watercoloring. I'm not sure how, but I'll keep it for now. Because, you know, I might actually be able to use some of this in collage, like this here. So I'll keep those. Set them right there. And then I have more sponges. These are actually makeup sponges that I don't use for makeup. So I figured I'd have them up here. Okay, this is sandpaper. All right, so sponges can go maybe up here. There. I don't think I need the sandpaper, but who knows? All right, what's this? Oh, this is some stuff for etching on glass. I think this is going to go in the yard sale. Yard sale stuff. Because I do not etch on glass. Got some brushes up there. Oop, I can hear Brandon up. Yeah, we were supposed to go fishing today again. And he just gets really tired around noon. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get to go fishing. These are just for watercolors. I think I'll put them up here. I can practice on those. And then, so not too much watercolor stuff. Okay, this goes in there. Yeah, sanding block. Hi, Day. How are you doing? Does anybody etch on glass? There, I got that kind of organized. Now, do I want to keep... this is a drawing of the paint by number, the zebras. I don't know if I need that anymore. And this one was the tiger. Well, I better keep them for a little while. Put them right there. That way in a month I can go, what is that? Oops, here's some more. Do these clean out? Anybody? Anybody? Hi, Lynn. Let's see. I want to keep this where I can find it because it is to trace stuff with carbon paper. And I can never find that when I need it. Okay. Another sponge. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of craft supplies, yeah. Because not only my stuff, but Brandon's mom's stuff. All right, what's in here? quilting, quilting stuff. All right, now I still have one. I cleaned all these out, so there's no more sewing stuff in them. So I have two drawers that are empty. Imagine that. And one drawer with computer wires and stuff like that. I'll keep that. And then one drawer of miscellaneous sewing stuff that I never use, but I'm afraid to throw it away because I might need it. All right, like these. Okay, these were Brandon's mom because she made all her own clothes for a long time, okay? I've never used them, but I keep them just in case I need them. Is anybody else like that? All right, I also have some of these. I think these are for like knitting or crochet, something or others. I don't know. I'm not going to clean that drawer out today. All right. That drawer is for a different day. And then I also have this where the spools of thread used to go. And I might just take this door off so I can slide in under the cabinet like this. I'm not sure. Okay. Just a thought. Could you mix the watercolor with a medium and paint on fabric? Yes, I believe you can. You just have to get the right medium. Like, okay, what about this? Transfer medium for fabric. Well, this is for transferring photocopies and more to fabric. I've never used this. I don't even know where the heck I got it. Maybe it was probably Brandon's mom. But it looks like it's still good. So I will keep that. See, this is one of the reasons to get organized over here, so I can see what I have and what's good and what's not. Okay, here's a matte medium. Says it's acrylic. $7.49. I wonder how much this costs now. Do not mix with turpentine or oils. No, I wouldn't do that. Not with any acrylic. I think you could use this to prep your canvas. Yeah, that's what I would use it for, possibly. But you also have this as a good prepping your canvas for gesso, acrylic. That's stuck. And I have oil painting medium, oil color liquid, Daymar varnish, linseed oil, gum, turpentine, happy medium, I think this is Bob Ross. No, Gary Jenkins. But it's like a turpentine. All right. Bye, Kim. Yeah, probably, Shirley. I'll have to give some of that a try. Okay, Lynn. Thanks for coming, Kim. Well, hi, Lisa. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I need to get a mic, a wireless mic. Lynn, no, I have not completed the horse. Are you kidding? You were kidding, right? Now see, Lynn, there's a mess. Look at that all over. Oh, you were hoping. It's pretty close. Pretty close. I'm taking a break from the horse today. Okay. Uh, I really want to work on it, but I need to take a break from it. All right. So I have some more art supplies over there under the sewing table. I'm going to bring those over here because I have an empty spot. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Okay, these could go over to the sewing area. So what I consider the sewing area now is over there. At the big table. And a lot of the stuff that's under my long arm now, probably half of it needs to go in a yard sale or something and needs to go away from here. I think I am going to keep this spongy thing for watercolor. This one I'll throw away because it's got holes all over in it. And this. Oh, yay, I threw something away, you guys. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, I miss painting too, Rita. A lot. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, that's a lot of cardstock. I don't envy you at all. Okay, let's see. Um, should I bother bringing that stuff over here? It would be handier because it's mostly little canvases and stuff. I could leave the books over there, or I can put the books down here. I'll be right back, you guys. What time is it? Did you want to go fishing or anything? I know. Okay. I thought you'd like to. No? Okay. I had to ask Brandon if he wanted to go fishing or not, but he thinks it's going to get nasty outside. Oh, I think he might be right. Hmm. Well, it's a little windy out there. Oh, I got to go close that door over there. That's through the hallway and into the other bedroom. Hi, Loretta. Yeah, the wind is really blowing, and the clouds are like those big, puffy clouds that look like it's gonna rain. All right. Let's see. I should have emptied that a little before I backed it over. I hope it fits under that table. Ooh, barely. I might have to put it over here. I don't think it's going to fit there. All right, I'm going to have to get down on the ground. Wish me luck. Oh, it just barely fits under there. Well, I was able to get on the floor and back up. Okay, show you what I brought over. Can you see that? They're those wooden crates, and I've had them for a long, long time because you can use them for bookshelves, and they're really old, you know. They even, some of them still have like the stickers on them. Let's see. So I have like watercolor paper. This is a cold press. You know what I need to do is take a watercolor class. Yeah. Oh, what is this doing in there? Okay, fabric art. Okay, this is kind of what maybe Shirley was talking about. This is for that paper that we found earlier. Okay, some of these books I have were Brandon's mom. And I probably looked at it one time, or, you know, thought, oh, that's interesting, I'll keep that. So yeah, oh, collage with fabric. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to have to look at this one, so I think I'll keep that out. Then I just have all kinds of different watercolor or acrylic type canvas, little ones like this. And sketch pads and stuff like that, you know. And then the other shelf has more like books and stuff on it. And I think I'm going to put it right there on this side, because it would be nice to have the books over here, because I could actually sit right here and look at books if I wanted to. I know, it's a really good thing I have a large room. I feel very blessed, for sure. But on the other hand, if this room was smaller, would I have so much stuff? I probably would have gotten rid of a lot more stuff if I didn't, you know, if I didn't have this big of a room. But the more room you have, the more stuff you collect, right? That can go there. Alrighty. Let's see. Thank you, Lisa. Hi, Sarah. Oh, you were wondering where I was? Yeah, I'm moving things around in the sewing room or craft room, hobby room. There, hobby room. Okay, I'm going to have to clean the books off of that shelf before I bring it over. But I found a couple of paintings. I'll show you a couple of that I did a long time ago. And I actually need to put some varnish back over these or something. But here's one. See the little squirrel? My mom, this is like one of the first paintings I ever did. And my mom loved this painting so much because she used to have a pet squirrel. So she had it hanging up in her house for a long time. And then after she passed on, I got it. So it needs to be, it's pretty dried out. So yeah, I need to figure out what to do about that. There's that one. And then this is another one that my mom wanted. So there's a couple of paintings for you to look at. And then another time I'll grab some more and bring them up. Most of the rest of them are downstairs. And yeah, I did clean these off. They were so dirty. Oh my God. I don't think she ever cleaned them. But I really do need to put something back over them. This was the first and only flower painting I did. It was a lot of fun. I took this in an art class. Yeah. Back when my name was Brooks. That was a long time ago. All right. So, Kathy, the other thing I have quite a bit of is beads. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with those. I'm thinking about go ahead and letting those go, but I keep thinking, well, I can put beadwork on my art quilts and stuff, but I still haven't done it. So, but I know as soon as I get rid of them, I'm going to wish I had them. You didn't, I thought you knew I painted. I haven't painted in years, Day, but yeah, I used to paint quite a bit. Thanks, everybody. The one I would really like to show you is the bear. And then I have a mule deer. That's a buck with big horns. And I used to have pictures of my paintings, but I don't know where those went. Yeah, I don't know where they are offhand. I'll have to look for them. Okay, so I just found a couple of other hobbies. Woodwork. I haven't done too much of that, but I do have the wood burning tools and stuff like that. And the other thing I used to collect is rocks. So a lot of crystals and stuff like that. Um, yeah, woodworking, rocks, beads, fabric, painting, just regular little crafty type stuff, you know, that you would use a glue gun for, um, stuff like that. Jesse is playing outside. Here's the a wood burning project that I started that I haven't finished yet, obviously. I would like to do a little bit of that. But you have to prep your wood just right, and that's what I didn't do right, is prep it properly. And so I was having a hard time down where these grains are down here. So this should have been sanded really good and then prepped with something, I think. It'd be kind of fun to take a class doing this too. Yeah. This is a really cool piece of wood, don't you think? Yeah. It's a knot. Maybe I'll set it up over here so I can look at it. Okay. So I do have another easel I could use over here. But I would put it where you are sitting, I think. It's a smaller table easel. I actually have a couple of those until that big one, the repairs, till I get the repairs done on the big one. Okay, what next? Should I just throw old thread away? You know, I'm talking about thread that's like, you know, probably 30 years old. What do you think? And I'll be right back because once again, I drank too much tea. It is windy outside, but it's not too cold. Okay. Now, I'm going to kill the computer there. Well, maybe I should put that glue gun in that drawer. For now. Yeah. Now, what is this? Oh, this is a electric pencil to engrave with. Must have been Brandon's mom or his dad. His dad was very artsy. He was into woodwork and stuff. Maybe I'll put this over there with my woodworking. And then I should turn it on and see if it works. The point is not very sharp. Okay. And I got a bunch of big rocks over there, like river rocks, that I was going to try painting on rocks. That's how far I got, is bringing them up here. This is one of these label maker. I used to use it quite a bit, but I haven't used it in a long time. Now, this one is really old. Look at that. I think that goes to the yard sale. Because you can buy electronic label makers now. I'm guessing I probably have not used that label maker in probably 15 years or so, at least. There's my little tabletop easel. And it also has this, so you can, goes here. Oh, the other thing I have, Kathy, are pencils. Yeah, I have a lot of colored pencils. So, I forgot about that. Oh, and yarn and cross stitch. How many hobbies is that so far? Okay. Well, quilting, collage, beads, woodwork, wood burning, rocks, painting, sketching, cross stitch, crochet, 9 or 10. Okay, that's plenty. Yeah, I have a bunch of spools, wooden spools too. I'm not talking about throwing those out, because I would give those to somebody or something. Just talking about other thread that comes on this plastic spools, you know. That's what I'm talking about. I could, I still have them. I'm thinking about just saving them and seeing if they'll work for thread painting or not. If they don't work, if they break constantly, then throw them out. So, except for I'm not going to use the thread that is on the wooden spools. I won't use that for anything. But yeah, I do have quite a few wooden spools. And I know there are some projects out there that you can use those for. It might be really kind of cute in the sewing room, right? That's what is that saying? Good at a little bit of everything and a master of none, or something like that. That's me. Ooh, sourdough bread sounds good. Mhm. Oh, that's a good idea, Lisa. Okay. Oh, baste your quilts. That's a good idea too. Okay. Oh, junk journals for I don't need another I don't need another hobby. But that is a good idea. Use it for your junk journals. Okay, back to sewing. I knew some people would have some ideas of what to use that thread for. Oh, that's a good idea, Jamie. She only allows herself two hobbies, quilting and cross stitch. Well, I had all these other hobbies before I started quilting. So most of it was painting, arts and crafts, and it's only been like 10 years or so, or maybe a little less, that I started quilting. And you know, I have been thinking about destashing some of my fabric and just kind of going through it and keeping the stuff that I really want to make a quilt out of, and then, selling the rest of the fabric, do a destash, except for the stuff I use for the collage quilt. And that would, that would help. So I don't know. I'm not, really, I'm not going to worry about it too much because at this point in my life, it's okay that I have all these hobbies. And you know what? I don't have any kids that they're going to have to deal with all this stuff. Honestly, I don't know who is going to deal with all this stuff. The state, maybe. I don't know. And once I'm gone, I won't care either. So I suppose if my brother and sister are still around, maybe they'll, you know, want to come and do something with it. I don't know. And they can if they want to, or I just told Brandon that if I go before he does, then just let the local girls that I sew with come into the sewing room and just take whatever they want, you know, so he doesn't have to deal with it. I mean, he can go ahead and sell the sewing machines and stuff like that if he wants to, or he can let them have them. I won't care, right? Yeah, I'm thinking about that too. And the um, sew sampler, and then I'm thinking about just joining a petite of the month because that would be kind of nice to have for my collage quilting. But then again, it might just be better off to, pick that stuff out myself. Then I won't end up with anything that I don't want. You know what I mean? So, right. That way I'll know they'll appreciate the fabric. Exactly. And whatever other crafts and stuff, that they're interested in. So, Oh, I think I seen that done on YouTube, Shirley. She says, Shirley says, no way, I'm taking everything with me when I go. Yeah, they back in the old country, Scotland, Britain. Um, I used to watch quite a few of those, like Time Team, and they buried people with whatever that person's favorite stuff was. So, if they were a had a favorite bowl, a favorite knife, their jewelry, their favorite clothes, whatever the item was, that item got buried with the people. So you could take it with you if you want. I better have a pretty big casket though. And I actually thought about doing junk journal. That really kind of, you know, intrigues me because that would, be a great thing to use all your junk pieces for, right? So you would really never have to throw anything away because you just save it for junk journal. I like that too. Okay, let's see. What do I want to work on next? I could iron some fabric scraps. I wanted to go through um, the projects in the closet, quilting projects, and see. Do you guys want to look at that? And I want to make a list and kind of see what I want, if there, what I want to do and what ones I don't want to do. If you want to hang out with me while I do that, I'm happy to take you over there. Uh, that's a good idea. That's what we actually need to have as a will, a living will, definitely. I should get right on that. Or I was, what is that other thing? Put everything in a trust. You bet. Sounds like fun. Oh my God, Shirley. Really? Oh, that is too funny. Okay. Uh, Shirley said one time she had a dream, that she died, and she was really mad when she got to heaven because she didn't have her sewing stuff. Bye, Lisa. That's funny. wonder how my battery's doing. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to go around in circles now. What do I have over here? I think I'm going to empty this. Goes with a project that's in the closet. So that would empty another drawer out. I actually could put these in project bags. Okay, this one needs to go in a project box. These are, I just need to sew these together. That's all. Just need to sew them together. So right now it's a UFO. And this is part of this. These two go together. And let me go see if I have a project box I can put this in. Because I want to free this up for my collage quilt fabrics. And then all of the sewing projects need to be in the closet. Okay, I found a project box that might work. And these are all back quarters. Purple and greens. I do still want to finish this. Okay. These are some, fabrics that are cut up already. That. And some of them are half square triangles. So definitely need to, yeah, this has been a UFO for a while. And most of these are all friendship stars. I hate to fold that, but that's the only way it's going to fit in there. Okay, so this can go in the closet. There we go. Now I have 3 empty drawers. Woohoo, 3 empty drawers. And these can go in the closet with the blue and white quilt. And then these are all 2.5-inch squares. And yeah, I have some more boxes over there that have scraps in it that I was going through with 80. I'm thinking about, I have a bunch of those blue boxes, and I'm thinking about putting all my scraps in those blue boxes, but I don't know. And this one is scraps also. So these are, you know, chips. And then I think these are 4-inch, 3.5, and 3-inch. And then there's some 5-inch down in there. So that's kind of organized. That's from the other day when I was doing scraps with Katie. So yeah, I need to finish going through the rest of those scraps. Oh yeah, right, Shirley? Should have just been happy that you made it to heaven, right? Well, that would have been cool if when you got there, there was whatever sewing machine you wanted to use and any kind of fabric. That closet is going to get stuffed full of fabric. There won't be any room for anything else. Okay. You love stars, Kathy? Enjoy your dinner, Lisa. All right. I think I will take you guys over to the sewing table and um, maybe play around with scraps. There's the horse. I'm gonna try not to work on it today. My neck and shoulder feel better than they did yesterday. I um, laid down on the couch for a while with the heating pad, and that really seemed to help. So, alrighty. Bring this over there in case I need to plug you in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it today, but I definitely need to straighten up that closet. Because I just keep pushing stuff in there and now it's all unorganized again. And another thing I need are more of those plastic drawers. Yeah, like I have the paint in. So I had to just go ahead and order them on Amazon, right? Oh, I found another empty drawer. I could put all that thread in there that I don't know what to do with. Sorry, I keep checking the weather. It's really nice out there. Well, I mean, it's kind of windy, but in the wind, yeah, but it's still nice. It smells like rain, actually, like it's going to rain. Now you kind of get a overview, kind of. Looks pretty big from here. So you see where my art quilt is? Right here. And then where we were just at, right over there, in that corner. And then there's the patio door. Here's the long arm. And there's a bunch of fabric. And then if I go this way, there's the closet. And yes, it is a walk-in closet. And actually, that closet is like big enough you could, like if I was a young woman and I had a child, I could actually turn that into the baby's room. That's how big it is, right? I mean, for a little while while they are just a baby, you know what I mean? Where's the baby? Oh, in the closet. I don't mean it like that. That didn't sound good at all. Oh, you're welcome, Jim. And so right now you're sitting on the big wooden table that Brandon made me. It's made out of plywood, and I needed a cutting table and an ironing surface. And it used to be sitting in the middle of the room, and I could, walk all the way around it. I could put quilts on it, on top of it. And this was before I had my long arm. And so I could baste a quilt up here and all that stuff. And it was great. So it's like a sheet of plywood. It's 4 by 8. And then the legs are just 2 by 6. and some other scrap wood that he had. So they're, yeah, and he just built it up here upstairs in this room. So if we ever want to take it out, we have to unbuild it. Or at least take the legs off. And I figure whoever buys this place, they can deal with it. All right. So I have a bag of half square triangles. This is where I worked the other day with Katie, and I think she's doing, well, she's doing Katie Says, scrappy, right? Your scraps. And I think it's 1.5 inches. Yeah, 1.5 inches. I don't have anything 1.5 inches. I pretty much don't keep anything under 2. Well, except for half square triangles. And those are the leftovers from doing, flip and sew, or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're just leftovers. And I'm just looking for the extension cord so I could plug the camera in. So if I do have anything that small, I don't have very much of it. So I'm thinking about just doing 2.5 inch scrappy, which I asked her about, and she said that was fine. Okay, I'm just going to plug you guys in over here. Because my luck, the power will go off. Hi, Deb. We're just goofing around. Just goofing around. All right. So I do want to press all these out and then eventually trim them up. I'm not sure what size they are. But I think they're going to be at least 2.5 inch, most of them. Yeah, 2.5 inch. So I have a scrapped container over here that I'm putting half square triangles in. These are really tiny, so they might qualify for 1.5 inch. I don't know. So I need to go through those. And then I have like a whole stack of squares or triangles that didn't get sewn together. So I have those that can be done. And I do want to find a different container to put these in. And that's where those blue boxes come in at. All right, and then I have more half square triangles, but they are bigger. They're going to be at least 3 inches or more. So these are all leftover from other projects. And these containers all go with that drawer unit that's over there. So I would like them back over there, okay? And then I have bags of scraps that are left over from quilts that I made. Here's another one. There's another one. And then the rest of this are strips. And there's all different size strips. Oh, here's some half square triangles. Okay, those go over there. So, but the majority of it is like strips like that. Because I thought maybe I would do a strip quilt. So there's not as much as you think, right? Strips. And so nothing is 2.5 inches, I don't think, in here. So it has to be under 2.5 inches to be in there. I'm not sure what this was. Sometimes I think I should just get rid of all my scraps and start over, you know, but be organized. Okay, and then this, which is really full, is all different sizes. There's even some, this should not even be in there. Why is that in there? Okay, that should go over there. This is all background fabric, pretty much. And or lights, right? So I really need to go through that and clean that up. Because whenever I just have leftover background fabric, it just gets stuffed in here. Obviously. I'm not sure why I put this in there, because that's quite a bit. Huh. That's like almost a yard. All right. That is a yard. And it is going to go over there with the yardage. That. Well, that took care of one thing out of there. All right. Just kind of get straightened up here a little bit. Yeah, now my nose is really itching. No, I don't really have a difficult time sewing with them, but I will say, iron the seams open. it's a lot easier to put that all together if the seams are open. Now, I'll show you a quilt that I made with leftover half square triangles that are really small. And these half square triangles are all from the same fabric line. And so I ended up with 2 quilts. And I actually think this came from a jelly roll. So as you can see, I probably have enough for another small quilt. All right. So all the sew and flips I had left over that were half square triangles, they were, let me see, what size? One and a quarter finished, so 1 3/4 unfinished. Right? Okay, you ready? I still need to quilt it, but so this is what I got with the leftovers. So if you can get, you know, pretty quilts with your leftovers, right? But these were so small that, yeah, I had to press the seams open. Okay, which is fine. It sews up a lot better, and it's not that big of a deal, you know, like to see through it. Not that big of a deal. So they're like little basket. So what I did was I had I went through all my patterns, and I just looked for blocks that used half square triangles. And even though I wasn't using the same size half square triangles as the pattern that was in the book, I just used it as a reference, you know, for the layout for all these blocks. So like that one. That one. That one. So 1 3/4 unfinished was what these half square triangles were. And yeah. So I'm just going to finish this as a wall hanging one of these days. And I still have a lot of half square triangles left. And I have some blocks made up already, so there's one. And then I was doing pinwheels. Okay. So here's some more half square triangles. Yeah, more half square triangles. And then here. So I still have this many left out of that jelly roll. So 2 quilts plus still this. And once I use all this up, then I will have used all of the fabric out of that jelly roll. No scraps. Yeah, I really should finish it up one of these days. So my idea with this was to like make pillowcases out of them. And then the main quilt that I made out of this fabric, my sister's husband has it. And so I thought about I would just make her pillow sham type covers and then send it to her. That was my thought. And then I thought about just making this into like a little wall hanging. So, that more to go. That's it. So you definitely, you know, can do stuff with your little scraps. Oh, a table runner, yeah. Oh, this was a long time ago. I want to say this project was at least 5 years ago. That's how long it's been waiting to be quilted. I'd have to look back on my photos on my camera to see, because I do have pictures of that original quilt. But I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. So those that I just showed you, all those scraps, that's not all. So when I do a quilt and I have scraps from that quilt, they go in a bag, and then like this. So this was left over from a quilt. So is this. And this one. And this one. And I think I have some more somewhere. This one. And my idea is that I will make pillowcases or pillow shams to go with each quilt. But you see how how that is going. So I just keep them together. And I think the ones that are in these drawers, the scraps, they were one time a quilt, of course, you know. but I've decided that I'm done with them. You know, I'm not going to make a pillow that goes with a quilt or anything like that. And so then they end up in these containers to be used in whatever. Um, well, on my sewing machine, I have a dial. It's not the automated thing. I have a dial. So I can do it at like 1.8, which is about what I do when if I'm going to do half square triangles like that. So a little bit smaller than my regular stitches for piecing. I don't know. I know a lot of people like scraps, but I get overwhelmed when I get too many scraps unless they're organized. Then it's not too bad. But once they get unorganized and all crazy like this, it really drives me nuts. One time I sent almost every scrap I had to somebody. And boy, that felt good. That felt really good. But then I let it, get out of control again. One of these days, I guess I just need to sit down and just start sewing a scrap quilt and not really worry about the size of the pieces. You know, just keep sewing them all together until you get a 10-inch block. And then once you have enough 10-inch blocks, then just sew all those together. If you are able to, Kathy, just do a back stitch. You know, just go a back stitch a couple and forward. That'll help keep those together if you're worried about it. The other thing I do is I leave the tail of the thread probably a 1/2 inch hanging out. And that helps too because then you can grab that and pull it tight. But if you cut it off right at the fabric, then it tends to get loose. So I just leave it a little bit long. Um, sure, then, do you worry about all those little tails that you have on the back of your quilt? I don't. Not when they're only a 1/2 inch long. I don't worry about them. But it's definitely a lot easier to tighten those seams back up if you have a little thread tail at the end. So that would be my tip on that. Yeah, be careful what you wish for on the scraps. Yeah, I thought about that, Anita. I thought about that. Actually, I do have a box of stuff over here that is for giveaways. So maybe this Sunday I'll do a giveaway. I know they breed like rabbits, don't they? That is for sure. Okay. So I think what I will do, just a little bit, and then, oh, it's already 3 o'clock. What I was going to do is just go through and iron up these scraps, and then trim them up. Or would it be better just to take care of them as you sew them? What do you guys do? Do you guys cut all your scraps up into certain sizes? And if you do, what size do you like to cut them into? Or do you have containers like this where you just start sewing pieces together? See, what size is this? 2-inch. So this must have been like, I should probably save this 2-inch because that could be a good sashing. All right, unless that's all I have of that. So that's 2-inch. We'll just set it over there. And then, you know, we get down to the little pieces. Some of these might be 1.5 inch. One and a half. 9 hours ahead of me. Yeah. 1.5 day. Oh my God. Okay, that's color. That goes in there. Yeah, these are like way too small. Now you could do a strip almost 1 inch. I think I saved that for doing strip blocks. One and a quarter. All of those are 1 1/4. Except for this one. What is this one? That can be 2.5. Yeah. So some of these are really small. Oh, I know why I have other colors in here like this. Because I was doing these and I was using my backgrounds for these stars. See? That makes sense now. All right, I am about burnt out, you guys. Okay, that goes in there. Too dark? Yeah, so I think I need a container for those paper piecing. these yeah, I didn't get very many done, but that's kind of fun to do. Some more. Just, okay, that one can go. Yeah, I need to go through this for sure and take out everything that's not white or cream. Brandon's singing again. And then if I find anything that is 2.5-inch squares, I can save those. Yep, that's what I need to do. All right. Hey, Teresa. Good to see you. Have a good night. Okay, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to take off and go rest up for a little bit and then probably come back up here and finish going through some more scraps. Thanks for joining me. I had fun. It was great to see all of you. And yeah, so stay creative, okay? And have fun. Thanks for hanging. I'll see you next time.